Good day, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Elena, hello. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm kind of going to be starting a new project that I talked about, and I'm not sure how far I'm gonna take this. I'll get more into it in a moment, but let's just take care of some introductions. Well, thank you for being here, Elena. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Shawn. I'm a photographer. I'm based in Germany. Wherever you are watching this, you are going to be able to find a Linktree link in the description, and you can click on that and find me every place I am on the interwebs. If you would like to share your work with me, you can join my Discord from here, like Elena has in the past. And if you are watching this on YouTube or Twitch, make sure to subscribe, follow, like, hit the bell icon, all those things you're supposed to do. If you have a Behance page, if you like what I do, feel free to subscribe and or buy me a cup of joe and get a cool wallpaper. That is enough about me. Within the Discord, if you're new to the Discord, I got a couple different things. First off, we have your photos to edit. I do need to edit this one. This is from the Munich office. A riff, hello, I am well, how are you? I may edit that one today too. We have the regular stream chat. We have community artwork, which if you want to share your artwork like a Riff and Helena and Mafu has, you can do it here. And then if you have Behance projects or Instagrams, you can put it in your project feedback. And I will look at it and take a look at it live on stream. Give the community a bit of promotion. Okay. Before we get started, Ryan Selvey talked about the blog.adobe.com and just kind of touched base on one of the articles. Let me go ahead and put this into chat. This is something that I recommend checking out once or twice a month, just to kind of see what's going on, what's happening, what Adobe is up to. Sometimes there are collaborations or opportunities for the community to become more active with Adobe. So this is something that I do quite often, is just checking it out, seeing what the articles are. Like they've got University of Texas, Embracing Creativity and Technology, AMD advances your potential at Adobe Max, and Winston-Salem State University, things like that. And they'll have updates like Google's Gemini being brought into Firefly and Adobe Express. So this is just a great blog to keep yourself kind of up to date. You know, I know we get a lot of our information from Ryan and from other streamers, but sometimes just take it upon yourself. Now, this intro that's playing right now is pretty darn interesting. Let's go full screen here. There's some crazy stuff. There's no sound, by the way, so you're not missing anything. Oh, I hate snakes. It's funny, there definitely are some oops here and there, but it's still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Okay. We are done with that. Okay. Sandrine, hello. 2 days ago, so Tuesday, the wine harvest, or the harvesting of the grapes for wine, has started here in my region. This is a project. Oh, Sandrines were lurking. One moment. Since I don't know if Sandrine knows how to do this, I will do it for her. Boom. There's parts of the harvest that I have not really documented. So I think I want to do a project of actually going through. Oh, we got a big boom. Okay, 1 second. For the big boom. What? Oh. I'm looking for something really quick. Okay. Caroline, hello. Oh. With a tooth missing. Doesn't hurt. Wow, Sandrine. Okay. So living within the region that I do, this is part of my normal walk, is going up and going into the vineyards and photographing it. And the castles that are up there. And so throughout the seasons, and I know a lot of you have seen these because I've edited these online, but I've go through and I've documented a lot of the seasons of the vineyards, different times of the year, even getting ready for the harvest. We've got, the fall vineyards, the colors, and I've got a lot of images of vineyards. These are vineyards is this in France? No, this is down on the Weinstrasse. Still in Germany. But it's just something that I enjoy doing. I love that photo. I love that. And hopefully I can get to this. Eventually I'll get to this. Whereas I had the opportunity. Are you telling me I did not name it? Okay, winter. What year is this? 2022? No. Okay. 1 second. I need to show this really quick. Oh, maybe harvest? Okay, here we go. I got the opportunity to actually join a winery to the harvest. And unfortunately, I do not have the right catalog for these, but it's up in a very steep region right by a castle that we had to go through and do everything by hand. So you can see we've got the carts right here and literally cutting the grape bunches by hands, putting them in these tubs, and then using the carts to get up and down the hill, the track, to get to the truck so that they can take it back to the vineyard to start smashing the grapes up. They had lunch for us out there, which was spectacular. Group of people. And here's a good set of the tubs. And I almost lost an arm. It was extremely dry and slippery. Mrs. Shawn fell, hit her head on the tub because it was so steep. And then here you can see where they're putting the bunches. Since we actually cut by hand all of these grapes, they were still on the stems. So this machine, they dump in by hand into this machine, which removes the grapes from the stems, and then the stems get shot out the side. I really should. Where is this? One moment really quick. I was gonna add the extra hard drive on, but my dongle only has one USB. Bummer. Okay, so at that point, they take the grapes in. As you can see, they've got a filtering system set up where they're bringing up all the juice and they're filtering everything out. And then they've got they use air to smash the grapes and get everything out. Again, it doesn't go through that much of a filtration, because for those of you that may not know, red wine and white wine, do I have any more? No. Okay. Let's get back here. Red wine and white wine, the colors actually come from the skins. So if you want a white wine, you can actually use a red grape and just remove the skin and not have the skin in the fermentation process, and it will be white wine. Very common. It's a common process to do that. But the reason I bring this up, so I have seen and been part of the process of hand picking the grapes. Great experience. Worked my butt off. Is it something I want to do again? No. No, I do not. But it was great. Now, out here, when we've got, and let me scroll down a bit so you get a feel for the size. Here we go. So you can get a feel for the size of the region. The region is huge, with a massive amount of grapes that lead all the way down. Oh, Oliver, first off, I owe Elena a thank you, big boom. And for Oliver, oh, Oliver says, whoop whoop, it's Shawn Kozel photography time. I do not have my Nightbot or a bot set up to read that like other people do. So I'll have to read it, Oliver. Thank you for the subbed for 8 months. 8-month streak. Thank you, Oliver. I know you're not doing it for me. You're doing it because you don't like ads. But I still appreciate it. Okay, so this is probably halfway up in the hill. So you can double this, and it goes, down here. Here's the village, and here's the river, the Rhine River. A good friend of mine at this building right here. This is a winery, works right there. Can't see the top of my house. Nope, it's blocked. If I had the means, I would remove them all and replace them with implants. Ooh, I'm doing it to support you. If I just don't like ads, I'd buy Turbo. Oh, well then Oliver, thank you. Thank you so much. So in this area, it's not as steep as where we had to pick it by hand. So they have these machines, and the nickname for them are ticklers, like tickling somebody. And the way they work is they go down the row, and literally there's these pads, I guess you would call them, that are rotating around and pulling the grapes off of the stems. And then once this machine like goes down a row or two, it has to offload into a wagon. So usually there's a tractor and a wagon waiting by. I have not documented that part of the winemaking process, and that's something that I would like to do. Yesterday, while I was up in the vineyards, you can see this van right here in the middle. The vineyards were out taking samples, checking for the sugar content of the grapes to see what rows are ready to be picked. Now, at the place I was at when I did the hand picking, he had a little handheld machine that you smash the grape in, and it either shoots a laser or some type of light through the smashed grape and is able to calculate the sugar content of the grape. And if I remember correctly, they're looking for around 25% sugar content for that particular wine that they were making. It could be very different for different vineyards and different varieties of the wine. So the whole process is quite interesting. And being in the middle of it, I think I want to document it. So to begin with, let's go ahead. I'm going to grab these 3 images. Let's go in. We're going to do a photo merge panoramic. And boom, there we go. I don't want to fill edges because Lightroom hasn't been doing well at that. We've got the auto settings, which is good. Create a stack. Yes, please. And we're going to go ahead and hit merge. Now we're going to let Lightroom Classic do its thing. And I was on a water tower. Now, as you can see, let's go ahead, hit D for develop. Let's jump into our crop. Let's unlock our ratio. Let's get rid of the handrail. Let's bring it in a hair. Nope, let's get rid of that tree limb. Okay, I'm good with that. We can hit close. Let's hit full screen. Okay, so this is giving you a good idea of just the size that's right behind my house, like literally 2 blocks that way. And I don't think I've ever created a panoramic. Now, if you are photographing a panoramic, specifically you're thinking, okay, I want to make a panoramic. What you're gonna want to do is shoot in portrait mode. And that's gonna give you more pixels, more images. And I could have done this panoramic in like 7 shots instead of 4. And it would have given me more information. We would have had more of the sky and whatnot. But where I was standing, it honestly, it didn't matter. And yeah, I'm totally fine with this. But normally the better process is shooting the panoramic in portrait style. So just so you know, I don't know I think I've manually done this once, then I decided my widest lens was wide enough. I used to do 360s. I wonder where those are. I used to do virtual reality 360s. I did and Oliver, I don't even know if you were there. I did a stream on it a while ago. Yeah, let's hold on. Let me grab something. Oliver saying I have a 360 camera for doing 360s. This was way before 360s. This was how pros used to do it. So what you have, and oh wow, okay, I have not used this in a while. You have a Ninja nodal. The nodal is the specific spot of your lens where light enters it. So you would attach this to your tripod. Then this attaches. Oh, please hold. Come on now. Work with me, not against me. There we go. And I've already got this backwards. Let me swing it around. We're going old school here, people. Going old school. Okay. So, you have this mount. Of course, it's all black and I'm wearing black. You have a bottom bracket for your camera, which you put on and then you attach here. So this is attached to your tripod. This is attached. Now, the whole thing when you put it together is you want the nodal of your lens to line up perfectly, and I already screwed that up. That's why it wasn't going. There we go. I did have it right. You want the nodal of your lens to line up with the absolute dead center of your tripod. So once you make sure everything is straight, what you're able to do then is this rotates, and so it clicks, you can hear it click, and it locks in at specific degrees. Depending upon the lens you use, you would take an image, move it, take an image, move it, take an image, and move it, take an image, and move it, and you would go around. Then you would flip this up and take an image straight up. Then you would bring it 180 degrees, take an image straight up. Then you would bring this straight down, take an image, swing it 180 degrees, take an image. So with that, then you take all those images and you bring it into a program that is called PT GUI, and you start hand stitching. And I do mean hand stitching everything together. What you're doing is actually finding points. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. But the quality and the size of your output is amazing. I do have some of mine on different websites. I looked at doing it once and nope, right out of here. So this was my plan. Lady Jane, hey up, duck. This was my plan. Is I was going to be doing like real estate photography, and I did. I got a couple jobs doing real estate photography, and the problem is to do one photo, one of these 360 degrees, the way that I did it, is it took a couple hours. So you're looking between $60 and $80 per image. And there were some people that thought that it was worth it. Then a lot of people didn't. And then shortly after that, yes, the 360 cameras came out, and it kind of proved all of that obsolete. That is a lot of work. It is. Yeah. It's, it's just another set of skills. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I learned it. I'm glad I learned that skill. But again, it became obsolete very quickly. So, okay. I don't know if I'm going to remove the power pulls in this image. Like, I don't know the output of this image, if it's going to be worth it. The original Google rig just had a bunch of cameras pointing in various directions. You needed to stitch a full 360, so it was essentially doing the same thing, just all the pictures were taken at once. I was in Belgium, I believe, and I came across this guy who, between some train, not train tracks, but streetcars, in the middle of this square where all these streetcars converge and blah blah blah. He had a little tripod, and I'm sitting there off to the side, and I'm watching this, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And he created, using GoPros, pointed a cube. So it's a cube of GoPros, and it was able to sit on a tripod. And that's what he was doing. So the same type of thing, but he created his own. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things, like, at the time, I was pretty damn proud of it. I mean, the JFK Museum, they let me come in and do that at inside their museum, which the lobby there is spectacular, the JFK Museum in Boston. I came in and just asked them. I'm like, hey, can I do this? And they're like, yeah, sure. That's right, there's a specialty camera mount place I've bought stuff from in the past who makes stuff like that, a 360 GoPro rig. Yeah, the guy I talked to said he made it himself. That's not what I bought from them. That's funny, Oliver. Okay. I was just buying car mounts. Well, okay. This is what's interesting with photography, is the fact that you have things literally come and go. Designs have trends. Designers have trends. Photography has tech. And it's always kind of one of those things, like, if you start getting into it, it's start getting into it early enough, you can do well. But eventually the tech is going to outpace you. So when you try to get into specialty stuff like this, like 360s, again, I'm not complaining about the 360 cameras. The idea that I could actually go in and I know how to do this. I mean, heck, you can do it in Photoshop. Not as good, but oh, what was? Hold on. This is something that kind of at that time was taking off. These gigapixels. So there are these gigapixels that are massive. And I think the largest one is in Abu Dhabi. And I remember seeing a 360 gigapixel of an American football game. And it was so, the quality was so amazing that you could zoom in on each individual fan. It was pretty crazy. Now, at the time, there was a colleague that I knew that was hired for an excavation of a ancient room. I remember the GoPro mount being very expensive, and the GoPros go on it would have cost a fortune. It was an expensive business to get into. Now we just need one camera for like 300 pounds. Yeah. So he was doing a excavation of an ancient room, stone room. I'm not going to talk about what or where, but it was round, and it had, shall we say, etchings in the entire area. And I was in the process of chatting with him about doing a full 360 of the room, like going in and with close-up photography, getting just everything as crisp and clean as possible and documenting the entire room. Now, what occurred while I was going through this, it came to the point that I could not justify doing this for him. Hold on. Oh my God, these have gotten so much smaller over the last like 10 years. Oh. I can't even remember the name of this place. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, this is not a sponsorship. This has nothing to do with it. So, I don't know if any of you have seen all of these, but there's these new 3D scanners for interior spaces. Now, at the time, they were pretty big. They were like the size of a double toaster. I mean, they were pretty big. And you set it on a tripod, and then you go into the other room and you activate it with your phone, and it scans your interior space. And there were real estate photographers that I knew I was good friends with, that ended up going in, and they were renting these, and I think one bought one, and then they would use it. So this was just coming out when I started getting into it, and these are so small now. These scanners, they're expensive, but oh my God, they're cool. Yeah. So this kind of got rid of the whole concept of 360 photography. And at that time, the gentleman, who I would consider a friend, when we were chatting about doing the ancient ruins, I was like, get a scanner, get somebody with a scanner. Now you just plonk them on a tripod in the middle of the room and they scan all around. Yep. And then the thing is, so when you're viewing it, you're gonna see like little plots, rings. And so to move to the next one, you move from ring to ring. And that's where you set the tripod, or that's where the tripod was set up at. Yeah. Photography is... it's tough. It's tough. It's pretty cool. It's come a long way. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been on for a half hour and all I've done is stitched. We've talked about wine, 360 photography, and now we got 3D scanning. How depressing. Okay. So again, while I was up photographing, I was not able to find any of the ticklers actually at work. They harvested early in the morning, they took back, and when I went up there in the early afternoon, they were not there, but they were testing the wines. So my idea is, for this project over the next couple weeks, is I'm going to be trying to document, find them. I am close friends that the woman works at a winery, and I can actually get inside information as into where they're going to be that day. And then I can make the decision if I'm going to go up. So let's go ahead. Let's get just start doing some editing here, see what we've got. And I don't know that's the other thing I started to say, is I don't know the outcome of what this project is going to be, but it might be cool. It might be. Okay. We've had some great clouds the last couple of days. Just absolutely wonderful. Funky weather, to say the least. Oh, by the way, this is Schloss Vollrads, and I know the majority have seen many photos from here. But this is kind of my favorite hangout. This is a castle that I go by on our walks. I have to clean my screen. Boy. What do I got going here? Why are you clipped? You're saying you're clipped. I don't think you're clipped. Oh, there you are. Okay. I get that. It'll be a tiny bit somewhere in the shadows. Yeah. I'm not seeing it though. It says it's there. It says it's there. It's highlighted. We had some big thunderstorms lately. Oh. Really? Let me check something. Right now, okay, so the rain is supposed to hit us at 6 tonight. Okay. And then it's supposed to rain from then all tomorrow. But it's like 72 degrees here right now. So yeah, that means if you guys got it, that means it'll be coming this way. Oliver says, yeah, we did yesterday. Storm Central went right over our office. Dang. Caroline says, one where there was a lightning inside a cloud. It looked so weird. I love... Now, okay, what Caroline's talking about, if you don't know, is you have three kinds of lightning. For layman terms, is you have cloud to cloud, you have cloud to ground, and you have ground to cloud. And it all depends upon the positive and negative charges. And of course, it goes from negative to positive. So if you have a cloud that is positively charged and another cloud that is negatively charged and they're getting close, the charge from the negative will jump over to the positive cloud and you will get cloud to cloud. Cloud to cloud is really, really, really super common because there are millions of lightning strikes that happen all over the world every day. Millions. And there's so many that, like, there's a million strikes that hit the ground every day. Cloud to cloud, there's millions more every day. So if you're in an area in which you get lucky enough to see the lightning going cloud to cloud and bursting, is really cool. Jane says, thunder and lightning on the way here in the next hour, it says. Oh, all I've got is rain coming. We had some good thunderstorms, lightning and thunderstorms last week. Now, I don't know how many of you remember this. And this has not been actually proven. But a few years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago, it was pre-COVID. Ooh, so it's even longer. Wow. In the middle of the night, there was a massive explosion to the point, like, I flew out of bed, running outside, trying to figure out what's going on. Back in the before times, that's true. Oh, cloud to cloud we call sheet lightning. Sheet lightning. I've never heard that. Ooh, Mr. Jane popped out to pick up his new computer. Ah, fish and chips, nice. So, I I go outside, I'm literally looking for an explosion, looking for fire, smoke, anything. I don't see anything. Next morning, I get up, grab my phone, it's dead, no internet. Like, everything is blown. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. So I go outside and there's a satellite dish sitting in the road. And this is Sunday morning. Really quiet. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And so I start talking to the neighbors. Everybody around me in larger than a 1 block radius, their internet blew up. Their boxes, the Wi-Fi boxes, fried. The TV boxes fried. It was such a huge explosion, it ended up closing down the gas. We have right next door, we have a wonderful Italian restaurant, and it shut the gas off to the restaurant, and it totally destroyed that shutoff valve. So on Sunday, the workers came out and were digging up the street because that is freaking dangerous beyond belief. And thank God, I'd be dead if it blew that up. We were without cable for a couple months. Then, let's see, our neighbor was without internet or cable. And when I say, I mean internet and cable, but was without for like 8 months. I mean, she just, yeah. But we never, I think it was a lightning strike. What it struck, I don't know, but it messed everything up. My landlord, his TV blew up. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It is so good to see the regulars in chat. Lady Jane's back, Sandrine, Caroline, Oliver. This is like old times. This is like UK Adobe Live. So good. So good. Okay, so I am brightening up. Either lightning or a transformer failure sent a spike down the cable network. The problem was we had power. So I doubt, and I mean, I'm being really, I don't know. Oh, Tim says, I never see you in chat here, Shawn. Good to see you, Tim. Hope you're having a great day. It must have been a cable exchange rather than a power substation. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, the boxes, the big cable boxes that you're talking about are like on the corners of the streets. You know, they're all painted and fun. None of them were fried. None of them looked like they got struck by lightning. But I don't know. Okay, we got a little bit of clipping happening in the cloud, so let's take that down like that. Let's grab, before we go too far, I want to just bring up a linear gradient here, and holding shift, we can make sure it's straight. Bring that up like that, and let's bring that exposure up. I want that rock wall to have a little bit more light on it. I mean, we could take it the other way, but I like that. Just a tiny bit right there. And we can even add some saturation to it. A little bit more of a pop on that. I'm digging that. I like that. So checking the before, after. Yeah, just subtle. Subtle. Get into our effects. I don't think we really need a vignette. Give it a small one. Let's add a bit of sharpening, not too much. Holding down the Option key, grabbing our mask. White reveals, black conceals, and just add a bit of sharpening. So we've got the before and after. I like it. Now, last night on Adobe Live, let's grab, let me see which one I want to grab. Okay, we're gonna edit a different one, but I wanted to test something out because for those of you that were here on Tuesday, let's go ahead, get back into the grid mode. Make sure that's selected, get all photos. Let's go over to Gayhorn. No, that's Geierly. I need to, no, that's all Germany. What am I doing in Germany? Get out of Germany. I need to get into the Netherlands. Get on. And let me scroll down. This was something totally brand new that I discovered. And here's the image, or close to the image. And I was trying to make it look more vintage. And of course, Tuesday's stream, I was working on black and whites and trying to make them more black and white. The street boxes are just for local connectivity. Then they have a backbone. Okay, hold on. They have a backbone that goes back to a local exchange someplace, then back from there into the main network. The street boxes could have been fried inside by a pulse from the central exchange. But the explosion happened literally at my house. Jackie, good morning. Fall's starting with leaves starting to change. Have a great day. Wonderful. I'd imagine questions were asked about why there wasn't any surge protection to stop it. Yes. The explosion, I've never heard anything that loud. Never heard anything that loud. Okay, back to editing. Jackie, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. So this was a happy accident that I didn't know you could do. I ended up creating a black and white profile, and then I used curves adjustment and add an overall sepia feel to this image. I absolutely love how this turned out. Electric explosions are very loud. I'm saying where the location, the shaking and everything. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah. This was an absolutely happy little accident. Now, Evie, hello. Good to see you. Let's get back into our previously imported. Now, last night, I can't remember the gentleman's name, did something really strange and ended up changing it to black and white, but used a very basic method, which is fine. It's just a different method. Went down here to saturation and pulled all the saturation out of the image. Now, the image initially was very monochromatic to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. He then used color grading to bring tones in. Now, see, I was like, okay, it's already pretty monochromatic, and I couldn't see either due to the feed, whatever it was. I couldn't really see the changes to the image. So I want to test this because, again, I'm willing to learn. And the whole curves thing, I totally learned something new there. So what they ended up doing, and let's get in here to the shadows, is you can. So this is quite interesting. Jane's got her fish and chips. It's not even Friday. Jane's being spoiled. You are being spoiled, Jane. Here's the question. Are you gonna have fish and chips tomorrow too? Jane's got a mouthful. She can't type. Okay. Let me think about this for a second. Jane says, possibly, but they might be done at home. Ooh, lucky you. There are tea cakes in the kitchen. Leave room for the tea cakes. Now, here's something. We're going to try something. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to take a screenshot. And if this... Okay. Hi, Umacorn. So, Lightroom Classic, we have a series of panels. And if I come over here, let's go into Custom Develop. Let's go to our default order. Let's save that. Relaunch, that's fine. We're gonna relaunch Lightroom Classic. And the panels are gonna come up in the default order. In my mind, if you take an image and you pull all the saturation out of that image, I would think you couldn't then color tone it. That was one of the things that blew my mind when I started playing around with the curves after I used a black and white profile. But I know if you're using a black and white profile that the color is still there. Lightroom Classic knows the colors. If you come in now, if all we did was pull the saturation out. So if we go into our color mixer, here are all of our colors. And it knows, like if I start, no, not luminance. Let's deal with the saturations. No. Weird, you're not messing with me now. My brain is starting to hurt. Okay, first off, let me bring over our screenshots so you can see. All right, so here is how I work. On the right-hand side, this is how Adobe wants you to work. Not saying you have to, but this is the order that Adobe would like you to work. Going through from top to bottom, dealing with global adjustments, and then jumping up into your masking and your individual edits. Now, let's get back. Let's reset this image. First off, let's jump into here. Let's go black and white. Let's just grab a black and white profile. Nothing special. We don't care. Let's get into our curves. So tonal curve. Now things are no longer where I should be. And we can colorize that way. Okay. Let's hold down the Option key, reset that. That's fine. Let's get into our color grading. Let's grab our shadows, and you can color grade there on top of a black and white. Now, here is my question. If we reset this, Let's come back in here. And I honestly don't know the truth for this. Are these panels like layers? In the idea of saying, okay, you've got a series of layers, and if we put basic below, is it going to pull out your color grading if the color grading is on top? So if we go into customize, let's grab our basic, let's bring it all the way almost to the bottom. Let's save, relaunch. And this is something I've never tried, I've never thought about. I honestly don't know. So if we come in here to our tonal curve, and let's grab our blue, and we make it really yellow, god awful yellow. Oliver's saying no, the order doesn't matter. Well, this, now if we go into our basic and we grab our saturation, okay, I can see that it did something, and we can come up here to our tonal curve, and it did turn it into black and white. That never crossed my mind to do that. Like I said yes 2 days ago. Normally, if I was going to be doing any type of color toning to a black and white image, I would probably be doing it in Photoshop. And so this is a whole aspect of editing in Lightroom that I was unaware of. I had a workflow of being able to take that black and white image and give it some color grading in Photoshop. And there you go. As Jane would say, Bob's your uncle. Wow. All right. All right, let's see. We need to set this back up to the way I like it. So we've got, I'm going to put our lens correction, then our transform, our basic, tonal curve, color mixer, color grading. Detail goes to the bottom. Calibration, which I never use, but I leave it up. And effects. Okay, let's save that. Let's relaunch. Caroline says, great discovery. Well, this is exactly like what I was talking about yesterday with Mafu. That when you're able to watch the Adobe lives, or for that matter, other artists, and you're able to see their workflow and being receptive to it, and it's like, I didn't know that. What the heck was that? General hello there. Being able to actually be aware of these certain things that you could do. I like it. I like that. The thing, okay, so Oliver said, you know, the order doesn't matter. It wasn't, I was thinking if it canceled them out. If that makes sense, Oliver. Like if you added color and then desaturated. But I guess because it's a non-destructive workflow, it is only working on the edits within that panel. What the blank was that? What do you mean, Bruce? By the way, hello, Bruce. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. What the blank was that? Oh, what the blank was that? Happy Thursday, Bruce. Just having a little bit of a discovery. No, because they're all applying different changes. It doesn't matter what order you apply them in, the result is always cumulative. Congratulations, chat, for being chatty and giving me 100 messages. Thank you. Okay, so within now that's interesting. Okay, so check this out again. Discovery. Just came into hearing you say that. Yeah. Okay, so each panel, General, can't you just let me have this? Just let me have it. General says, don't be too proud of these 100 messages. The ability to get messages is insignificant next to the power of the Force. Just give me a win, General. Come on. Okay. Within the panel, you can screw up and a good way to see it is if I take our highlights all the way up, blow it out, and then I bring our exposure down, we can counteract each thing within the panel. Same thing with the vibrance. If we go wild with the vibrance and then we take our saturation down, it'll go to grayscale. Same thing if we take our vibrance all the way down, then we add saturation back in. It brings color back. So what you're doing within the panel can affect each edit. But not each panel. My head's hurting now. Okay. Let's edit a photo. I wanted to edit this one. Okay. We got a little bit of framing here. Nice old tower. Let's go in, D for develop. Let's go into our transform. And actually, instead of that, let's go into our straightening here. We don't need to, I'm not trying to make the whole thing straight, just straighter. Let's reset that. Let's close it. Let's try it. I mean, we've got straight things. Let's see what we can get here. Make that straight. I mean, not that this tower is straight anymore. It's in the middle of a freaking pond. What does matter is doing things like the erase tool before cropping or using auto after cropping because they affect each other. Yeah, with my workflow, I prefer to do the straightening and cropping first, then remove distractions second. And then from there, I'm all over the place. Ads. We need more ads. Speaking of remove, let's remove this flagpole. What do you say? Oh, I don't want to hit you. Generating music. Too fast. I always do cropping first, but then sometimes I have to remove it again to use the remove tool, but it samples outside the crop and tries to add stuff back in that I've cropped out. Welcome back, Bruce. Okay, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Wow. All right, let's go ahead. Give auto a try here. No, we do not like auto. Let's bring down our highlights. Let's open up our shadows. Let's bring our whites over. Oliver says, also, I had a few times where I've cropped, then removed power lines, then adjusted my crop, and got some random bits of power lines just stopping in mid-air. Yeah. I mean, it's... When it comes to that, if you're going to be removing power lines, using the remove people or the removing power lines, just do it to begin with. Remove them all. Remove it all. Just get rid of it all. All right. Says we are clipping someplace, so let's go ahead. Whoa!
Theratacunity just followed.
The Radicoon. I gotta turn up my volume. Thank you for the follow. Let's give you a big boom. Radicoonity. Radicoonity, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. And how are you today? I don't know where this is clipping. Where are you? Oh, that bush. Hello, hello. Welcome in. I'm doing fine. That is great to hear. And again, thank you for the follow. Let's see. Do we want to leave this sign? Yeah, you know what? Let's leave it. Oliver Andrew, so used to destructive crop. No such thing in Lightroom. You can, in Photoshop, when you're cropping in Photoshop, you can remove the pixels. That is not an option here in Lightroom. So that's good. That's good. Okay, let's grab, like what we've got going on so far. We're gonna have to add a mask, but let's get the global adjustments. And why are you doing that? There we go. Let's get the global adjustments done first. In Photoshop, it's the default. Is it? In Photoshop, it's the default. I had to tell someone how to turn it off the other day because they didn't know you could. Wow, I did not know it was the default, if it is the default. I guess part of my workflow is I always check that. That is interesting. Okay, why am I taking the texture down? I kind of actually like that though. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's take the texture down a little bit. Let's open up our clarity. Let's add a touch of dehaze, not too much, just a kiss. We're gonna bring our vibrance up and then our saturation down. Okay. I'm digging that so far. Why am I thinking, I keep getting this feel that I need to do this one in black and white. So maybe we will. Let's grab, not a radio gradient. Let's grab a linear gradient. Let's go ahead and pull up from there. Add a little bit more there, a little exposure there. Let's get in. Now here, I'm gonna add the texture into the bottom and a touch of clarity. We can add and take the saturation. No, let's add it. Let's add it in. I think I went too far with the exposure. I like that. Let's get into our luminance. A little bit more pop, I like that. Let's add some saturation. As soon as you brighten things up, you pull out the saturation. Oof, that's too much. Let's reset the saturation. Leave the luminance. Let's go into our effects. Add a small vignette there. Just a couple specks of grain. Let's bring in some sharpening and let's mask that out. Okay, that's feeling better. Now I want to do, let's go ahead. Let's do a, oh, what am I looking for? Virtual copy. Let's grab that, D for default. Let's reset everything. There we go. We've got it back to the original image. And let's get into, let's get these straight. That's better. Let's go into the remove. Evie says, Bruce, I'm eating all the Tunnock's tea cakes. The day is clearly going downhill. I do not even know what Tunnock's tea cakes are. For that matter, I don't know what tea cakes are. I feel so out of it. I must Google. Okay. Evie says I must, so I must. Oh, now you're being posh. The most famous tea cakes. I didn't know you were that posh. You have to have the Okay, this is not what I expected. Why are you not working? Me neither, just figured it was something I ate with tea. I did not expect it to be this. Oh, what are those called in German? All right, Oliver sent me a link. I don't have chat on this computer open. Is it coconut? Okay, let's do it this way. You're not going to be able to see it, but soft marshmallow on a biscuit bake, fully coated in real milk chocolate. Wait, it just said soft marshmallow on a biscuit base, fully coated. That's... Oh, Jane said, wait, Oliver says marshmallow. Oh, because you're responding to the coconut. I got you. I'm up to speed now. Not to be confused. How did I let chat take me down this? See, this is the curse and the benefit of having a worldwide audience. Because eventually it changes to food, and usually because it's from the UK, it's food I don't know anything about. So at Christmas markets Christmas markets or festivals, I don't know if those are on a biscuit. They're really popular here in Germany, but different. They have different innards. Oh my gosh. Look at this packaging. Okay, Jane gave me the toasted tea cakes. Oh, those are like English muffins. Yeah, an English muffin. We call them English muffin. Now I want an English muffin. I had a bagel for lunch. Now I want that. Okay, hold on. You were saying it was like old times earlier. You love us, really? You know I do, Caroline. That's without question. I mean, we call the same foods different things in different UK countries, never mind countries. So anyone outside the UK doesn't stand a chance. That's true. Chatting through the interwebs aren't like dusting crops, boy. Jump on the tangent train, all aboard. Oh, hold on. I didn't put us on the tangent train. Sorry, everybody. Let me get us on the tangent train here. Muffins are fluffy sponge cakes. Not when you toast them. Oh, I agree with Oliver. Tea cakes are not muffins, completely different. Whereas an actual muffin is not what Americans know as an English muffin. Whoa, tea cakes are not muffins. Umacorn says we call them kiss in Dutch. I'm assuming the milk chocolate tea cakes. And what do you call American football? Okay. How is this not an English muffin? That looks exactly like an English muffin. It would be so good if we could provide samples for all of you to taste. That's true. British Bulldogs. No idea what that's in reference to. The packaging looks retro, cool. It does. Whoops. I mean, okay. Yeah, let's talk about this. Tunnock's is Scottish. Muffins are flatbread. Tea cake is a cake. Okay. Bulldog is the American football. All right. You're right, Bruce. This is actually some really cool retro packaging here. All right. Mr. Jane says, until biscuits and gravy are banned, you can't say anything about food. For shame. For Mr. Jane, if you're listening to this, you eat your fish and chips and keep those type of opinions to yourself. I want fish and chips, and I want English muffins. I'm just hungry now. He is listening. Oh, that's one of my Christmas joys. It is such a Christmas joy to have biscuits and gravy. Oh, that is a Christmas joy for me. My brother-in-law's wife. I love fish and chips. I have nothing against it. Just in case you didn't know, Tunnock's is Scottish. They've added some tartare. I did see that right there. It's a family business since 1894. So this packaging, Mr. Jane says it's a scone with sausage and white gravy. He's had it. No, it is not a scone. No. No, no, no. No. It's like a freaking round croissant. It is a flaky goodness. It is not, doesn't have as much butter in it as a croissant, but it's flaky and it just pulls apart. It's layered. It's a true biscuit. It is nothing like a scone. Nothing like a scone. Which I like scones, so I'm not poo-pooing on scones. Bruce is saying, yeah, fish and chips sound good about. And it's 8 a.m. As a person who's worked for a bakery for 33 years, Mr. Jane says it's a scone. I have to. You are talking about two different things then. Oh my gosh, you guys. You're just. I was going to talk about packaging. We were going to stay. Okay. We say scone up this way, not scone. They say scone like scone. 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 Do you have any scone? All right, this is a buttermilk biscuit. Now, to the untrained eye, it would look like a scone. But it is not a scone. A scone is harder. A biscuit, a fluffy biscuit, that's a great way to put it. It actually, here's a good one. You can see the layers that are within it, and they peel apart and open up. Scones shouldn't be hard. Then I haven't had the right kind of scone. Everyone's saying scones. I'm just gonna say scones. I'm freaking American. Shouldn't be hard. Now, as for, that's not a good photo. Here we go. Zooming in doesn't good. A good sausage gravy, or deer meat for that matter. Corn. Okay, wait. Jane. Scones and American biscuits are both types of quick bread, but scones are typically denser, richer, and sometimes sweeter with a more tender, crumbly texture. That is a perfect description of a scone or a scone. While American biscuits are known for being light, flaky, and airy with more distinct layers. That is a perfect definition of both. And I just didn't have the vocabulary to put it together. So, key differences include the inclusion of sugar, eggs, and often cream in scones versus the use of buttermilk and higher proportions of fat thus Americans, in biscuits, resulting in their distinct textures. So we're talking two different things. Two separate things. Now, I agree with this definition from the scones that I've had and the biscuits that I've had. I would have to agree with that. Scones with jam and clotted cream. Yes, you wouldn't eat that with a biscuit though. So, okay. I think I have made my point. I'm and Evie carries on eating her tea cakes. All right, let's talk about packaging here. I love being right. And it's my stream. American biscuits aren't biscuits though. They're called okay. Is Canadian ham still ham? Yes. Are American biscuits still biscuits? Yes. Is American football still football? Yes. Is UK soccer still soccer? Yes, they invented it. Oh, okay. Boy, you should have seen, I got into an argument with a Canadian over Canadian bacon. It's called ham. All right. So the packaging, yes. Of course, having this retro style, the little happy kid that is going to have to learn not to eat too many of these. Why not try our dark chocolate tea cakes? Interesting call of action. On the folds, I find this really, really freaking good. Tea is also the last meal of the day. Oh God, that's right. Ugh. That's a whole nother stupid conversation that we don't need to get into. Is it supper? Is it dinner? What is lunch? Lunch is dinner. Lunch. Oh. I have tea, not dinner. But here, so the night meal is called, not here, excuse me, in parts of America. And it is just so stupid when people correct you over this. What are we having for dinner? We already had dinner. We're having supper. No, we had lunch. We don't call it lunch. It's called dinner. You know it's called lunch. You know what lunch is. It's basic English. You don't call it supper. We're not posh. It's dinner. What are we having for dinner? Ah, supper. Supper is served. Bah. What's the deal with brunch? How come there's no liner or looper? Brunch, it's not quite breakfast and it's not quite lunch. But it's a very good meal and you get a slice of cantaloupe. If anybody can name that quote, what that quote is from, I would be so impressed. I would be so impressed. The quote is, what is brunch? It's not quite breakfast and it's not quite lunch, but you get a very good meal and a slice of cantaloupe. Devlin, hello. Gravy is just liquid biscuit. Oh my gosh. Abby, Evie, you're so close. Supper is the biscuit before bed with milk. It's not that posh, but it's trying to be that posh. It's funny. Okay, chat, Devlin, you missed a whole scone biscuit conversation unless you were in lurk mode. All right. Bridgerton. You're giving it way too much credit, Evie. Way too much credit. I'd give you a hint. I doubt Oliver has seen this episode. I almost guarantee. I don't know if any of the rest of you would have. I don't know if Devlin would have. Look at the color of this box. Yes. Devlin says lurking. I can give you a lurk mode. Let me give you a lurk mode. Oh my God. Holy cow. One moment, everybody. Devlin's in lurk mode. And for Bruce, wait for it. Holy shnikes. Bruce got it with The Simpsons. Oh my gosh. It was a very early Simpsons. And a guy was trying to woo Marge and invited her to brunch, and she didn't know what brunch was. So good job, Bruce. That's still a hilarious quote. Okay, back to the packaging. The display packaging of this is absolutely wonderful. Whoa, that's not what I want. You get back here. It's the when Marge learns bowling with the fake French guy. Yes. The colors. Yep, Oliver was talking about the colors. The colors pop. I love the design of the wrapper. That is just, that's really cool. I love that. Oh, we're getting the whole episode because Homer buys her a bowling ball for her birthday. Assuming she'll give it to him and she gets annoyed. The pop-up, and the thing is, I don't know, because I see a little bit of a crease here. I don't see one over here. It could have been cleaned up. But it looks like they were folds to maybe hold down, hold in. So the display is really nice. But I like a lot this just extra print on the fold and being able to keep it down. That is a really nice touch that you don't see very often in design. Now, sometimes they will on the inner box, on the folds like that, maybe they'll put a pattern or something like that, which is also super nice. But having the company name there, it just does it for me. That draws my eye because it feels so rare. So I like that. I love this packaging. Do I want to try these? I don't know. Maybe. This is what Evie's lunch looks like. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I can't tell if I caught a little guy. All right. Let's get back to Lightroom. Not that many, but yeah. Where was I? We've worked on 2 photos, 3 photos. Okay. Let's get back into this, people. we've got a little bit of a tangent going on here. So these are annoying and whoops. Okay, fine. Let's get rid of both then. Get rid of them all. What are you doing? Let's try that again. Okay, fine. You're gonna make me use Gen Fill for this. These freaking 2 leaves. It's too fast. It's too fast. Okay. We are good there. Let's get in. We're gonna go black and white. Let's go into our profiles. Oliver says, I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery because apparently Amazon Day, less trips to your house now means they'll ship the other in 5 parts and visit 3 times. Wait, was it Amazon Day? Or what is it called? Amazon Prime Day? Not that I need anything, but how did I miss that? I'm more concerned over that I missed it rather than the order quantity. Amazon Day delivery. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm liking 10. It's not bad. Ooh, ooh. That feels too flat, though. We're gonna go with the red filter. It's supposed to be you pick a day, then they bring everything in one delivery on the same day, but they managed to create more deliveries than I placed orders. Oh. Gotcha. I gotcha. All right, let's get our whites and blacks set. I'm liking that. Gonna bring in some texture, get some clarity, add a bit of dehaze. I like where this is going. Do we want to do any coloring to this? Not that. Hi, Umacorn. Oh. You know, this is really amusing. Yellow is not supposed to have a good effect. And I guess bright yellow. But I really am liking just this subtle yellow tint happening. I really am. I think this is kind of working for me. Let's brighten up the bottom a little bit. Let's grab a linear gradient. Bring this up. Right there. I like that. Umacorn, you have a bunch of people hanging on the edge of their seat. What'd you have for lunch? Umacorn is not letting us know. She's having fish and chips. Bruce says, I wouldn't say that. Just curious. Ooh, okay, here we go. Everybody, check. Quiet. Umacorn said, I made my version of a BLT, but replaced the bacon with chicken and the tomato. Oh, the tomato with avocado slices. Oh, now I want that. I want that. That sounds wonderful. Oh, okay, I want that. I want biscuits and gravy, and I want fish and chips. You know, I'm a bachelor right now. I could go get all of that. I could have it all. And Mrs. Shawn's not here to say, don't do that. I don't even know where to go get good fish and chips here. There's an Irish pub that would probably have some good fish and chips. A couple towns up. They're too touristy. Okay, I like what we've got going on here. I think I want to bring out... See if we can bring out the roof a little more. How long would it take you to get to the south coast of England? By driving? Or am I gonna go visit Sandrine? I mean, Sandrine's the south coast. That's the nearest good fish and chips. Yeah. In reality, I'd probably just go over to Bruges or Brussels and have mussels. Mussels in Brussels. That's always yummy. That's just a few hours away. And in reality, none of these things are going to happen. Okay. Let's do a select object. I think I can make a loose selection. Pretty close. Yeah, that did a pretty decent job. We can add to it. Let's go ahead and do a... we can add up with a brush. Make our brush smaller. Let's zoom in. Add this in here. I'm sure I would have to go up north and head to the island for some good fish and chips around here. Boston. Go up to Boston. Go visit Rick. Oh, that is way better. Way better. Being able to see that texture in that roof. There was a... Gosh, I can't even remember the place of it. I think we went up to the North Shore and everybody was telling Mrs. Shawn that we had to go to this place, had the best fish and chips, blah, 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 blah. And we get up there and it is packed. And it's like a hole. It's huge. But it was one of those places that was like, didn't have to try. Didn't have to try anymore. And by reputation alone, they kind of had it made. We felt so... Our stomachs hurt so bad because of how greasy it was. I mean, it was just way over the top greasy. Was it good? Yes. Did we pay for it? Absolutely. Did we ever go back? No. It was, we went, we tried it. It's like, yeah, this is good. Okay, I am happy with this one. I feel as if I'm starting to get my mojo back with some black and white. Jane, are you here still? Okay, so as you can see, this tower is in the center. Okay, yes, you're here. When are you planning on streaming? We're doing a little bit of coordination here live, people. You have a time. Find yourself an Irish place that does Guinness battered fish and chips. The place up here, I'm concerned with the place up here because it's too touristy. And again, they don't have to try. Oh, you're 7:30 p.m. Okay, that's 8:30 CEST p.m. But I'm thinking I might do this afternoon. Okay. Alrighty. I lost my mouse. Oh. Alright. Tell me where to fit in. No, I'm gonna be ending at 2 o'clock your time, maybe a few minutes after if we have a tangent going. But that's my plan of attack, is ending in about a half hour. So, all right. This place is really cool. So it is completely surrounded by walls, stone walls, and it has a ton of buildings and cellars. You know, it's a winery. It used to be a hotel, and in the middle is a tower. In the middle of the, I wouldn't call it a moat. I mean, it is a moat. When Shawn ends, there'll be a couple hours until the Firefly stream on Discord. Yes, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I should look, actually. One moment. I'm sorry, everybody. What are we going to be doing? Oh, cool. We're going to be making brushes using Firefly in Illustrator. We're going to be using Firefly to make Illustrator brushes. And you can also make Photoshop brushes with it too. That sounds cool. That's going to be a fun one. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Well, hello. Nice. I will, if chat wants, Jack can make Illustrator brushes and I can make Photoshop brushes. We can, because I know some of you work primarily in Photoshop and some of you work primarily in Illustrator. So let us know what you want to see and we'll accommodate. All right, so this is really cool. They've got, you can see there's kind of a arched bridge going out, and this gate here is actually weighted. So once you unlock it, it's really super easy to lift up to get to the tower itself. It's 100% surrounded by water. And so if you come back here, you can see here that they've got fans going on, and this is the exhaust of the fans that's trying to keep it dry. Because like I said, it's literally in the water. What are you doing? I have this little tiny gnat that is just right here. Okay. And there are huge carp. This does not do justice. I mean, the carp are pretty big. Fungus gnats? Fungi gnats? I don't know. The carp are huge. Doesn't do justice. So this is the intro. Let's hit D for develop. Let's hit auto. That did an okay job, but you can see it. Bruce is saying, wow, you can see it in comparison to the other fish. Well, there's schools of fish that, 3-4 inches long that are swimming around that these carp are trying to eat. These are big. They're just big. Bad photos. Okay. Bad photo. It was so dark. We had yesterday was just a ton of crows. Up here, you can see the church, the cathedral for Schloss Johannesburg. Johannesburg, the winery is over here. But you can see that off in the distance there. But there are so many ravens, and let's sync those. Whoops. Now let's sync those. And go ahead, hit auto. Updating 5 images. So let's turn off our sync and that. So this is not a photo to take in for any reason except for I do not know the difference between ravens, and crows. We have a ton of them here. Now, they're extremely smart because we have walnut trees, and what they do is they take the walnuts, they fly way up high, and then they drop them down onto our tile, trying to break them open. Ravens are huge. Okay. I'm thinking that these are ravens because of the gray markings. Okay. We're going down Raven Crow. I put a request in the Discord for audio help if anyone has time to give me a hand. Absolutely, Evie. I am more than happy. Okay. Ravens are larger than crows. The wedge-shaped tail and shaggy throat feathers compared to a crow's fan-shaped tail and smoother throat feathers. I think these are crows. Crows are in my backyard sometimes. They are a absolute pain. Hey, Alessandra. They are a pain to get photos of. And they've got on their beaks, yeah, this is not going to be... Come on now. 200. The different style beak, it's really hard. It's probably the compression isn't working very well. But the different style beak, I'm thinking that these are crows, and they have a gray tuft on their nose, on their beak. But I mean, just absolute ton of them. Down here. Gray tufts are often jackdaws. All right, back into the grapes. Due to the fact I couldn't find any harvesting happening, I just walked for a couple hours throughout the hills, looking for the different grapes, looking for different styles, looking for different images of grapes. So this, for those of you that are jumping in late, I am starting a project that is to document. I don't know what the final project's going to be, but it's going to be to document this year's harvest, which seems to be quite good. I mean, these are nice bunches of grapes. And I was chatting to a winemaker at one point, and I made the comment, and I was like, he was like, yeah, this is a great crop. And I'm like, they seem small. And his response was, well, these aren't house grapes. These are wine grapes. And he was quite almost offended at the idea of that I didn't know the difference between house grapes and wine grapes. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for that. My bad. Okay, let's take that up to about nya. Open up those shadows. Ads. Oh, Alessandra. Come on, Shawn, you've got to be grateful. Thank you, Oliver. I don't know what the big boom was for. The redoom was for Alessandra's pun. I'm down with that. I am down with that. Some of the grapes you can see up here, they have blue netting on them to protect them from insects and or boar. That was a most excellent pun. I would say so. Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's anything jumping out. Oh, I like that photo. Okay, so we've already done this one. For those of you just jumping in, this is my backyard. Let me see. My house is someplace down here. I'm someplace down here. One of those houses peeking up. So this is my backyard, and bug. As of right now, some people are harvesting. Like this vineyard right here, this square, this is actually a person's house and vineyard. They started harvesting 2 days ago. Up here at this tower across the river, they have tigers. They have 5 or 6 like full-grown live tigers. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I can't believe I have not done a panoramic yet of my town. This makes me happy. This makes me happy. Okay. It is beautiful, Alessandra. I am... Evie just gave me a big boom. Bam! Thank you, Evie. Devlin says, tigers? Yes, tigers. And it's the interesting thing about it. So I've been there one time. And they have the cage. Oh, Caroline, have a great day. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciated. Hope to see you in chat later. So they have the cage, and it's like a glass cage, and then they have a secondary glass cage around that cage, and you can, at a specific time of the day, they have a tiger tour where you can go between those two glass panes and walk around and be educated about the tigers and whatnot by a guide. And they have an area where you can pull the glass down, like a panel that comes down, and then there's a mesh. And for those of you that know, if you are using a camera and you want to shoot through mesh, like chicken wire or something like that, you use a wide open aperture, you know, a 2.8, 2.1, 1.8, and you push your lens up against the wiring. And you can do this at the zoo, wherever it is. And when you focus, it will actually eliminate all that fencing. So it's actually quite cool. You can get some nice photos. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I didn't take the tour. It was already going on when I went up there. Tigers are stinky kitties. Mark you if you're not careful. I'll be on the other side of the glass things. I won't be in with them. No freaking way. These things are massive. They're cool as hell. I feel bad for them. I mean, I feel bad just... I don't know when this happened to me. I used to like going to the zoo, and then started going to like wildlife preserves. And here they have wildlife parks, which are more of a natural area. And it started just making me sad. Like, I don't like going to zoos really anymore. Amin, hello, welcome in. And even Evie says, yeah, it hurts my heart that they're in there, but I know sometimes it helps them replenish. I get it. And I'm not anti-zoo. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it kind of makes me sad. Most recently, I ended up going to from Bangladesh. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciated. We went to one of these wildlife parks here, and there was a wolf in a very large enclosure, wooded, you know, difficult to find. Like, they had a bear, they had other things, and very difficult to find the animals because it was actually very large enclosures. But this one wolf was like, all he did, he had a path and he just circled, and that path was worn deep, kept on that path, and it was just like, just kind of sad a bit. Up here, I have come across foxes, obviously lots of rabbits. The only thing that I know they live up in the vineyards, and I haven't come across one, are boars. I haven't come across a live boar yet. I would like to. This is so interesting to me. Like, we've got this beautiful, beautiful bunch of grapes. I mean, that's great. This specific line, this specific this vineyard, it had a disease last year, a fungus that ended up just rotting all the grapes on the vine. And it was like, it was just sad to see, because it's right there, right next to you, and you see it all. So I started seeing this and I was like, oh no, not again. But then you've got these beautiful bunches on the same plant, and then you've got these ones that just like stopped growing. And then you've got this beautiful bunch down here. So this is actually a really interesting photo in the sense of like you've got baby grapes, it seems like, all on the same plant. Then, you know, ones that are starting to go, beautiful, perfect ones, and a half and half, you know. So I thought this was a really interesting photo. Do I have the knowledge or the vocabulary to say what is going on here? No, I don't. Oh, you guys want to hear something crazy? All right. So, as you can see here, like, here is the plant, right? That's the plant. The way that this one, every farmer or vineyard does it different. This one, it keeps one arm and it brings it out. And so most of them, they have they do a T branch. This one's a little bit more wild. They just let them go up. They just are letting them just go up like this. Other ones, they try to do a T where they cut them off to the left and the right, and then they wrap them around wire during the season. And other ones, they literally just let them go wild. They don't do anything. So you can see one plant, all these grapes. Let me get back here. So this is a small percentage. I'm only halfway up into the vineyard. It keeps going double right behind me. On average, a plant will yield 6 bottles of wine. So this one plant, as it vines out, will yield, on average, 6 bottles. Damn. Yeah, one season, Devlin. Do I have Elena? Thank you. Okay, you can see over here. Now, this is to give you a little bit of history, and these are things that I have had to learn. I'm not saying I'm really smart about it, but a grape, when a grape is put in the ground, it takes 3 years until it starts producing grapes that can be used. And you can see down here all of these posts. That's what's occurring down here. These are all baby grapes. This whole line, baby grapes. Now, a grape will last between 30 and 35 years until it starts losing its yield. So that means you get about 33 years of grapes before it stops yielding the amount and it has to be pulled. So throughout this region, they will pull out, whole areas. And then you have to wait like 2 years before you can plant. And then you plant, then you have to wait another 3 years for the grapes to start producing. So you're looking at 5 years in which you get nothing. And if I come up, let me find a Schloss Vorans. Here. Here is a prime example. This is a whole hillside that they pulled. And I mean, the amount of grapes, it was like, oh my God. Devlin, that's funny. I just read that. So They pulled last year all the grapes, and they try to pull as much of the root systems as they can. And then they start, now here, this is interesting because they started for the first time that I know of a below ground watering system. So they've actually ran water lines this past year, which means this coming spring, once they level everything out and they get the topsoil in, which they're doing now, they'll start planting grapes. But this is a huge amount of area, and it's crazy to think about the yields, the amount of grapes, and then the yields when it's no longer producing. So, do I have anything in here? It's an investment, but you have to remember, like, this winery has been here since, I think, 700. The history of it. Actually, Schloss Vollrads has been the name, I think, the owner, since the 1400s. So, we're talking a long time. And a lot of the vineyards, that's just what they do. Now, at the same time, if we jump back here, yeah, let's stick with the 200. Here we go. So Mehrlein is this winery right here. Now, right behind me is Mehrlein Winery, this guy's brother. So, like, really quickly, just to give you a kind of a backstory, is the father gave the oldest son the winery. This son got upset and started buying up wineries. And now he is massive. Has a huge production, top of the line, selling everything everywhere. Big boom from Elena. Bam. So the winemaking and also the wineries have been in the family for hundreds upon hundreds, if not 1,000 years. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's amazing. That's kind of, the history of it is what I kind of find very interesting. You know, going from hand picking to this, to where we are today. And that's how come I want to do this project of trying to show the progression of the winemaking, or actually the harvest. I like that image. This is interesting. The red grapes are the only ones that you kind of get these fall colors coming into the leaves. So there is an old house that is just up the street from here. And it's kind of reminds me of this house. And it probably was built around the same time. So we're talking 1915, something like that. So 110 years old. And it's just has been cool. Well, they've started gutting it. And as I was coming down yesterday, I could poke my head in one of the windows and it was like, wow, they are gutting it. I mean, there's still some furniture in it, but they are gutting it. And then I noticed this little clog sitting on the brick. I'm like, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Okay. I think we are good to go. I'm going to continue working on this, and maybe other things we can tie into it. I'm not sure. This is kind of the beginning stage of this project. We'll see how it goes, how it turns out. But I'm going to be going out probably every day trying to get some harvest photos. And who knows, maybe I can ask the right people and they'll let me come into the wineries and photograph them, certain parts of the process. I don't know, because I know sometimes they can hate me for no particular reason, and other times I'm more than welcome in. So we'll see. The guy's fickle. What am I doing? Intro. All right. We're going to get serious here for a second. Thank you all for the scone talk, for the tea biscuits, for these tangents. Thank you all for the tangents. Hope you get a biscuit or scone or fish and chips or whatever it is in the fridge. That's true, Devlin. Scone. No. Today was awesome, and I need to thank you for picking me up. I've been a bachelor for a while now, and hopefully not much longer, but it could be. I don't know. There's just stuff is happening in the States. Life is happening. And so feeling, I don't want to say lonely, but just kind of down, I want to thank you all for picking me up, and it means a lot to me. And I appreciate the fact that you're all here. I appreciate our chat. I appreciate getting fired up over biscuits. It makes me laugh and it makes me happy. So you make me happy. So I want to thank you all for being here today and helping me get through kind of a rough time right now. Okay, in a couple of hours, I think we're going to be doing something cool. Jack and I on the Firefly Discord, we're going to be making brushes using Firefly. Devlin says, a bachelor for a few days and just sitting in boxers eating old pizza from an open fridge. Okay. Go back 25 years. I would be sitting back playing video games all day through the weekend, whatever. Yeah, not anymore. I can't do that anymore. So I'm trying to keep Mrs. Shawn's flowers alive. And I have no idea what I'm doing. None. She went away for, I think, a week over this summer. Hi, Jack. For like a week, and it was hot, and I've got this water tester thing, and it said it was wet. The ground was wet. So I didn't want to overwater them. So I'm like, I watered once, and she was not happy. You can always ask Oliver for a scapegoat bug you could blame. That's true. My plants suffer so much. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I really am. And so no video games for me. But okay. I think that's all that I've got. I announced that Jack and I are going live. That's about it. So if I don't see you on the Firefly Discord, which sounds like it's going to be a fun one today, I'm actually excited for it. And Jack, if you're still here, I was coming up with the idea of maybe we could do both. We could make, like, I could make Photoshop brushes and you could make Illustrator brushes, and we could see kind of how the difference would work. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that would be cool. So we'll try that. We'll try that. We can do both. I haven't a plan for today. It just seemed like fun. It does. This is a great idea, Jack. I really like this idea. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I think it's a great idea. Okay, everybody. Let me see. I don't know if Jane is live. I do not think so. I don't have any friends. Okay. No, Shawn has no friends. You better burn them. Oh, Jane says I'm not. Okay. Evie says now hiding all the Tunnock empty boxes. I'm over here looking dead. The fish and Jane's got the fish and chip sleepies. Oh, I'm so full. Oh, get in my belly. Okay, everybody, I'm sorry. I'm getting loopy now. We're gonna end this stream. Have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you in the Firefly Discord, I will see you in chat probably. And if not, then have a great day. Jane says I didn't eat that much. Okay, everybody stay safe, stay creative, and just be nice. I will see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody. Who says flip side? Bye.